been great having a home base to return to when we aren't traveling. If you're new to our channel, this year has been filled with new floor installs, unexpected truck repairs, and getting the Airstream cleaned and ready for our next trip. It's been a long process. And now we're looking for any reason to hit the road and start traveling again.
Because in the next few days we got to pack it up, because then we're hitting the road.
Join us as we complete our final checks and prepare the Airstream for our fall road trip.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's Rick and Lisa, and on today's video we're gonna go and get the Airstream all prepped and ready to go for our fall trip. We've got some cleaning tasks we got to do on the inside. I've got some maintenance tasks on the outside we got to get done, but I think we're gonna try to knock it out this morning while it's still kind of cool and before it starts to heat up. So you ready to go, Lisa?
I'm ready. Let's get this job done.
So guys, if you've been following the channel, you know, the last couple of weeks we've been focused on getting the truck repaired, as well as I got the Airstream washed and waxed on the outside, but we really haven't done much of anything on the inside.
No.
We've got to really get it organized and go ahead and do some checks out here. I've got some stuff outside I've got to get done, but Lisa, so what's your plan for getting everything ready to go?
Well, I need to wipe down the cabinets, check the filters, just some cleaning. Vacuum the floors. You laid down the new floors, so I need to vacuum and mop the floors.
Yeah, so as you can see here, we're really not very well organized.
No.
Well, since we got back from our Europe trip, we've really, I don't want to say neglected the Airstream, because, you know, we're always out here doing things with the Airstream, but we haven't been out on the road with it. So
no.
We just got to get it reorganized, kind of get it, like Lisa said, cleaned up and everything and what have you. So
then we can pack it up.
Yeah, because in the next few days we got to pack it up, because then we're hitting the road. We're gonna start our fall trip and on our way out to the Airstream rally in Missouri, and then on to Lima later on in the fall and everything. So we got some work to do.
We do.
So you ready?
Let's get it done before it gets too hot.
So what's your first task for today?
Well, we've taken down the curtains and we're gonna wash them. We've got to take down the curtains in the front of the trailer, or the back of the trailer, and wash them. And I want to give Diane from Zephyr Travels a shout out. She explained how to wash them. Ours really need to be washed, but
yeah, they have gotten a little bit dingy and dirty over the last couple of years, especially with all the work that I've done here inside the Airstream.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, fixing the floor, putting down new flooring, so just a lot of dust and everything. So we're gonna go ahead and take those in there. If you haven't checked out Randy and Diane's video on their channel, Zephyr Travels, on how they wash their curtains, you gotta check it out. We'll put a link in the description below or something like that. So
theirs came out looking really good.
Yeah, Randy and Diane have a lot of great tips and everything. So while you go ahead and fold these up, I'll go ahead and take down the curtains in the front.
Sounds good.
So Lisa, how do you wash these curtains?
So you soak them with OxyClean, and then you rinse them out, and then you hang them to dry. Don't put them in the dryer, you hang them to dry, and then right before they're completely dry, you put them back up, so then the weight of them kind of smooths them out, and that's all there is to it.
Okay, yeah, so I guess the real trick is you don't put them in the dryer at all.
No, don't put them in the dryer, they might shrink.
So I don't think Lisa needs me in here helping her with any of her cleaning. So while she's doing that, I've got some things I need to get done outside. So we're gonna go ahead and do some maintenance out here as well, and some other checks. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my to-do list completed, and we'll go ahead and get started on that. So now that I've got my to-do list completed, now it's just time to go ahead and start knocking out all these tasks. I think if we can get all these done today, I think we're on our way to a successful fall trip. So a couple years ago, we ended up buying a generator from Costco. It's a Furman generator, dual fuel. Really like it. It's unfortunately, it's a little bit on the heavy side. It'll put out 4,000 watts on gas and I think 3,750 watts or something like that on propane, but it's really been a good generator for us. Now, ideally, I would like to have one of those small Honda generators, but I just went with the larger generator that could power everything in the system. We'll go ahead and get this thing set over here in the shade so I'm not out in the sun while we're testing it, but everything should be good to go. All right, so everything looks to be working all right with the generator. Got it powered on. Got electricity going to the Airstream, so we're gonna go and check out the system on the inside and just make sure that we're able to power up the air conditioner and some of the other electronic components in the Airstream. So hopefully you can see here, this shows that the generator is putting out 126 volts, which is a good sign. So it doesn't look like we're having any problems with that. The true test will be now, let's see if we can power up the generator. I mean the air conditioner. Generator's already powered up. Feels like the air conditioner is kicking on. Haven't heard the compressor kick on yet. Oh, there, I think it just went on. I can start to feel the cold air coming in. We do have an easy start, micro air easy start on our air conditioner. But with this generator that puts out anywhere from 3,700 to 4,000 watts, wouldn't necessarily need it, but it definitely, the easy start still helps extend the life of your air conditioner, compressor especially. All right, so we got the generator tested out. Everything looks good to go with that. No concerns, so we're gonna move on to the tires. So when it comes to checking our tires, I like to check both the tires pressure just using a manual tire pressure gauge, but I also like to use our TPMS. Go ahead and put the sensors on there, power that system up, and then just verify that they're both reading the same, so that our manual air pressure is the same as what our TPMS is reading as well. So we'll go ahead and get that started and verify that those are all good to go. So the type of TPMS sensor that we use is one made by TST. It's worked great for us over the last several years. It comes with the screw-on sensors that you put on your tires, but we'll go ahead and get this turned on. We'll go around to each one of the tires, check the pressure manually, and then we'll screw on the cap and we'll verify the pressure on the receiving unit here as well. So pretty simple task, should take us about 5 minutes. All right, so we got all 4 sensors put on the tires. Now, if everything that I learned in high school is true, these tires here should read a little bit higher on the tire pressure than the ones on the opposite side, just because these are getting a little bit of sun on them as well. So the tire pressure will be a little bit higher, should be anyways. But we'll go check the receiver unit and see what they're reading over there. So like I expected, the 2 tires on the opposite side, on the sunny side of the trailer, are reading about 2 pounds higher in pressure. They're reading around 63. The ones on this side here are reading around 61. So I think everything's pretty much equal, and I think we're good to go on the tires. All right, on to the water tank. So on this task of the water tanks, earlier I had already went ahead and added some bleach to our fresh water tank, filled it up to go ahead and let that bleach solution go ahead and sanitize our tanks. Normally we only do this once a year, but since the Airstream had been setting for a while, we just felt like we got the time, let's just go ahead and sanitize the lines and the tank again. But we also use a Berkey travel filtration system that will remove any type of chlorine or chloride or whatever that is that's in there. It's not a heavy solution that we're using. I only use about 3/4 of a cup for our 39-gallon tank. But it's really simple. Just go ahead and pour the bleach in the tank, fill it full of water, turn on your water pump, run the water through your lines to go ahead and get that bleach water into your lines, and then you just let it set for about 4 hours. Some will let it set overnight, but we've already done that, so all we've got to do now is just go ahead and drain out the bleach water and then fill it full again with some fresh water, and then go ahead and drain that out again, and we'll be good to go. All right, so we finished sanitizing the freshwater tanks, so we're done with that task. We'll go ahead and mark that complete, and we're on to the propane tanks now. So if you're not familiar with the Mopica system, you can see on the bottom of this tank here, there's a sensor, and what it does is it uses, I guess, sonar-like type technology to measure the amount of propane you have in your tank. We've used these systems for quite a while now. I've got a video I'll put in the description below if you're interested in them, but they work great. But the only thing we got to do today is change out the battery. We'll just pop that off. It sticks on there with a magnet. Swap out the battery and go ahead and get it back on here after we recalibrate it, and then we're good to go. Okay, so now that we've got the battery installed and the sensor put back on the bottom of the tank, so now it's just a matter of taking out your phone and opening up the Mopica app just to verify that the battery's level is now good, as well as what we need to do then is open up that tank, and then I need to go through here and reposition it or zero that sensor. So we'll go ahead and do that now. Okay, so it looks like we've got the propane tanks taken care of, so we'll go ahead and mark that task off, and we'll move on to the next one, which is our AirTags on the inside of the Airstream. Well, it looks like Lisa may have went inside to go ahead and throw the curtains into the wash and everything, but while she's in there doing that, I'm going to go ahead and do our AirTag task, and that's just a matter of just replacing the batteries. I noticed one of the batteries on the AirTag for the Airstream was low, so we're going to go ahead and change that out. You may be wondering why we use an AirTag in our Airstream. Again, we just use it for an added bit of security if we're out away from the Airstream or something like that. God forbid if it ever was stolen, we could use it to help track it down. So we'll go ahead and get that task taken care of. Alright, so let me go ahead and mark off the AirTags. And what it looks like the only thing we got left to do on my list is spare parts bins. So we'll go ahead and do that. So anytime we get ready to go out on a extended trip, I like to go through my spare parts bin just to make sure that I've got everything on hand that I think I might need in the event that we were to have something go wrong with the Airstream. But Lisa and I were actually at Costco the other day, and I came across these storage bins that I thought were just fantastic. They looked like they would work really well in the Airstream. So I bought a pair of them, and I also noticed that you can buy them on Amazon, I think a little bit cheaper than what we paid. Again, I'll put a link in the description if you're interested in those. I did also order some new parts. I ordered some more latches for the Airstream. Can never have too many of these on hand. As well as something new that I added to my spare parts kit is a thermal cutoff fuse. And again, this is a recommendation from Randy Hill from Zephyr Travels. I was watching his video. He had a problem with his hot water, or with his water heater.
And it actually just stopped working about halfway through the trip. Now, my testing, I determined that it was actually the thermal fuse.
So I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and order one of those, keep those in my spare parts bin. So I just gotta get this organized in here as well. So once we get that all organized, and then we'll make sure that we've got everything on hand that we need. So if you're like me, you probably like to keep your tools and spare parts and other things organized and so forth. So what I've done is, and as you can see, each one of these little bins, and there's 4 of them per set, and I've got 2 sets here. And what I've done is I've just sorted and organized my spare parts based off of, you know, the area that they would work. Like this one here is latches, hitch pins, and miscellaneous caps, you know, for like your windows and so forth. This one here has igniter board, TPMS spare parts. This is where I'll put the thermal fuse as well. I've got some for just connectors, you know, screws, nuts, bolts, zip ties, my water and plumbing parts. I've got something for my Mopica and other sensors like that, water pump, sail switch for the furnace, and so forth. If you're interested in the spare parts that I carry with me, I've got a link to a couple videos you can check out if you're interested. But we'll go ahead and get these stored in here and get this task completed. That's where the latches go, and then the thermal fuse, going to put it in here with these other spare parts and everything. You know, it's not an expensive part, but you know, it's a $20, $30 part, and you don't want this just getting banged around in a bigger bin. So if you can put it in something smaller like this where it's a little more protected, that way then your investment in spare parts is going to be well protected. All right, guys, so I think we're about finished up with all of our tasks that I needed to get done outside here. You look at my to-do list. I'm going to mark off the last one here is spare parts. We'll go ahead and get that taken off of the list. And then we'll go inside and see how Lisa's coming with her cleaning and everything. And hopefully if she's done, we can wrap this up and get ready to start loading up the Airstream and getting ready for our trip. Hey babe, how's it going?
Oh, I'm done.
You got everything taken care of?
Everything looks good.
It looks good in here. You got the counters all cleaned off and everything put away?
Yep, so I still haven't gotten the curtains up. They're still drying. And so we just need to pack.
Yeah, so we're really excited. You know, we had a great time on our Europe trip. If you watched those videos, you probably saw some of the places that we went and traveled and everything. But we are really excited to get back on the road and do some traveling. We're going to head up into the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. We've never been there before. And then from there, we'll head on down to the Airstream rally in Missouri. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you folks out there as well. And if you do see us, make sure you stop by and say hello. We'd love to meet you and everything. So guys, thanks again for following along in our journey. We'll be kicking off this road trip here in the next week. If you have any questions or comments, leave those in the comment section below. If you haven't already done so, consider subscribing to our channel. We'd love to have you follow along. But if we don't hear from you, hopefully we'll see you down the road.
See you down the road.